So I'm sure you heard of Cordae's blood brother, Rg Simba. Rg Simba is a 23-year-old rapper from Maryland who has a lot of controversy built up to his name within the last 5 years. He's been accused of murder, armed robberies, and many other malicious crimes, but still roams the streets a free man in 2022 after serving 5 years in prison when he was supposed to be locked up for a few decades. Today we're going to talk about how Simba was facing 24 years in prison and came home a millionaire. But before we do, make sure to drop a like and comment. And if you rocked with it before the video's over with, make sure to subscribe with post notifications. And also check out my boy Q the Sane's new song, Sane Man, out now on all platforms. It's so fire, I just gotta play it for y'all.
Man, you don't even gotta be, you is just a hating fan. Nigga, we want all the static, same game, we got a full automatics. Stealing your bitch is a habit, after I for a little boy, you can have it. All of my niggas on go, he want to smoke and we wiping his nose. MBSS be the blows, and for my mama we up.
So Simba was making a lot of noise in his city for rapping about gang activity in his music, similar to Wabi and Amir. But just like TK, he was really living his raps. He would be seen in his music videos hanging out with his gang, showing guns, and even dissing dead ops.
Smoking on that Aki stuff, on that data. And Squeak little ass need to stop purping. Now he already know his stuff. You hang with the Aki, get that murder.
He was actively dissing people from rivalry gangs in his city, and 12 didn't like that not one bit, and wanted to put an end to it, so they had to start an investigation on him and his crew. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the state looked at Simba as he was causing too much destruction to the city, to the point they wanted to place crimes to his name without no evidence. And that's exactly what would happen in April 2017. Montgomery police arrested Simba and a few of his friends for first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, armed robbery, and conspiracy to commit an armed robbery.
Prosecutors say Shiloh Young and Tamario Gregg are part of a local gang and are calling today's sentencing a win for the community.
Basically, a local rapper named YC Glizzy had got murdered in a drug deal gone wrong by 4 teenagers who took $1,000 from him. The Montgomery police tried to attach the murder to Simba as there was an alleged phone call of him admitting to it with a friend. He would get indicted for robbing students at Watkins Mill High School for their cell phones, clothes, and shoes, and had all of them at gunpoint, making the students fear for their lives.
Young and Gregg stole cell phones, jackets, and shoes from students at Watkins Mill High School in Montgomery County as they walked home from lunch last spring.
And the way they found out that it was Simba that stole those phones was through a recording he made on one of the stolen cell phones, leading to the cops connecting all the robberies together.
Police say they were able to track down the pair because Young recorded himself rapping on one of the stolen cell phones.
Simba was 17 when he was indicted for all these crimes, but they made him wait till he was 18 to head to trial so his penalty could be much brutal than it would have been originally. He would end up beating his murder charge off the rip, as there was evidence he was in another location the night the murder happened, but wouldn't be his robbery charge, and would be sentenced to 24 years in prison, and his friend would get 30 years.
Gregg was sentenced to 30 years in prison for his role in the robbery. Young was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Both have been in trouble with the law in the past.
But remember how I told y'all Simba was 17 when all this had took place? Basically, Simba's lawyer had appealed to a much lighter sentence, since he was technically a minor when he would be indicted for the crimes he was facing. And they would battle for a few years for Simba to get freed, as they believed there was barely any evidence of him robbing anybody. Or they made it very clear that if they did give Simba a bond, he would easily come to the rescue as money was good.
Hey, free Simba, man. Hey, look, man, we did it for you, little bro. You dig? Hey, books good, books good, books good. Let them know. Hey, book.
Even though that money in that video was a lot, that wouldn't be enough to pay for his lawyers nor bond when needed. So Cordae knew it was time for him to start going crazy in the rap scene so he could financially be there for his brother. And as you guys can see in 2022, that's exactly what he did.
Last year I made 7 million, didn't have to do a single fucking show.
Throughout the years that Simba was in prison, he checked in with his fans and gave a little update on his life with freestyles.
Bills, my brother got shot but your brother got killed, and we jacking jail if she come up that hill. I'm shooting this Glock till they know how I feel. Stuck in the mud, niggas told me to wait on it. Niggas want to kill me, just pray on it. Thought it was sweet till my dogs put that K on them. These niggas tipping free Zach put a case on them.
Simba was ready to go home, and so was Cordae, as he was repping his name a lot in his music while he was locked.
Gave my brother 25 years, that really sucked a lot. Free my nigga Simba, that's my brother.
In September 2022, Simba was released from prison after serving 5 out of the 24 years he was facing, and walks the streets a free man with no worries of ever going back. Since then, Simba has been inside the studio recording a lot of music, as he was writing a lot of songs in prison. and he just dropped his first day out song yesterday. Simba being free just goes to show how you're gonna make mistakes while growing up and being young, but it's never too late to turn things around. God gave him a second chance. We all gonna have one after a slip up or two. Just gotta have faith and keep it pushing, gang. This message is approved by www.subscribetoJoJoScout.com.